Good morning. Just pulling up the live, making sure that you can see me and hear me. It's been a while since I've been live. Okay, I have sound, so let me shut that off. Doing it from a different angle today. I have some bows that I need to make, and while I'm waiting for some people to hop on, I am going to just put a quick coat of paint on this block. I got this paint yesterday. It was at Ocean State Job Lot. I thought it was going to be a really pretty color. New to my shop this year for the holidays is a sign for grandmas or grandpas. Where is it? Where is my... So it might be backwards, but it says there's no place like Nana's house. So I have a craft show coming up, so I'm offering it in all different colors. And obviously it can be ordered in whatever name you want it to be. So I wanted to get a quick coat of paint on this so it's drying, so later I can finish the sign up. Like I said, it's been quite a while since I have been live. I was trying to go every week, and then summer came and all of my kids were home. So now that everybody is back to school or working, I figured I would hop on. So this is a pretty chalk paint called, what is this color? Seafoam. So just doing a real rustic first coat. I'll do a second coat and then I will distress it. These have been popular in my local sales so far in the black, white, red. And when I saw this color, I said, oh, that might be really pretty. I can see this in like a beach style home. Maybe down in Florida or the southern states. These are nice to just ship to the grandmas, the mimis, the nanas for the holidays. All right, so I'm gonna leave that side to dry. I'm gonna put this off to the side. Standing up here. Looking for my wipes. Okay. So my name is Lorraine with Crafty Therapy by Elle. I am a wreath maker and bow maker, sign maker. I use my Cricut to make my signs. I haven't done too many videos on that just because of the angle that I think it would need to be. I can't really get from my camera, so I haven't done too many of that. So let's put this aside and move on to making some bows. I have an order. A customer ordered a plain burlap wreath, which I've already made this morning. And she ordered 2 different bows. So I sell just the plain base so that my customers can buy just bows for each season or each holiday, and they'll swap it out. So that was done this morning. So the first one she ordered was a fall bow, and I'm using my Easy Bow Maker. You can get this on Amazon. You can get it in your local craft stores. I have a lot of the bow makers, but I prefer this one. I always come back to this one. I like how it has the ruler. I just find that it's very easy to use. It's light, it's portable. just happens to be my favorite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the ruler, which is 8, and then I'm using my self-healing mat, which is underneath, to extend it because I need more. I make my tails a little bit longer than that. So I'm making it about 10 inches. 10-inch tail. And I'm gonna make about 5.5-inch loops on each side. And you can see I'm doing a twist in the middle to bring the right side up. This happens to be a ribbon that has the pattern on both sides. So it's not as necessary, but when you have a ribbon, let me see, do I have, this one is double-sided. This one, you have to do that twist in order to get the right side up. Oh, looks like we got some trolls on here already. Good morning. And I'm gonna do 2 loops on each side. Again, about 5.5 inches on each side. And you could see I'm rounding out the loops as I'm going. Some people keep it flat and they round it at the end. I prefer to fluff my bow as I'm going. And I'm just measuring my tails, making sure that they're about the same. Now this one, I'm really hoping that I have enough. It's gonna be really close. And I cannot find any more of this. I thought I had a couple of rolls, but apparently I am out of this. I have other greens, but not like this pretty mossy green. So we'll see. If I have to go to plan B, I will. But it should just be about enough. Now you could see I'm coming in a little bit shorter. This is about a 5-inch loop now. Again, doing that twist. And yes, I will just about make it. It wouldn't have been a big deal. I have some other ribbons I could have used to substitute it, but obviously I would make the bow and then show it to my customer and make sure that she approves it. But that was perfect, so I'm out of that. And then I'm coming in with a 3rd ribbon. This is all wired ribbon. These 2 are 2.5-inch ribbons, and this is a 1.5-inch ribbon. I always use wired ribbons because you could see how that holds its shape when you do that. If you do that with and even this, it holds its shape. If you do that with an unwired ribbon, you'll have a floppy bow. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you're a wreath maker, a crafter, just like learning new crafts. I often do that. I sit on YouTube and just relax and watch people craft and get different ideas. So what I'm doing is I'm coming in a little bit shorter. This is about 4 inches now. These are 4-inch loops. And I'm gonna do 2 loops of this on each side, measuring it up and cutting it off. So I have 2, 1, 2. That's like the recipe for this particular bow. Using a straight pin just to keep it nice and neat in my storage. Do that to these also. These were all purchased in my Etsy shop, which is down in the description, craftytherapybyl.etsy.com. We have lots of bows, lots of wreaths, personalized gifts. So if you want to go check that out, I also sell mystery bow boxes, so you'll get a bow for every season. So if you did happen to purchase that burlap wreath, or you have one at home, a greenery wreath, and you just like to have different bows for the season, that's a great way to save a little bit of money. You don't know what you're gonna get, but it will be bows for every season, I can tell you that. So what I'm doing is I'm fluffing out my bows. I've got 2 up, 2 down. This one's gonna stay in the middle. Again, this one has got a little fuzzy coming off there. Let me trim that. Now I'm gonna take my zip tie. This is an 8-inch zip tie. Some people use zip ties or pipe cleaners or floral wire. I just happen to find that this is the most secure. So this is what I use. So I'm gonna come underneath all of the loops and up the middle, and I'm gonna secure it. I'm gonna lock it, but I'm not gonna pull it all the way tight. So now I'm gonna lift it up, secure it a little bit more, but again, not all the way tight. I'm holding it with my thumb there and in the back. Now I'm gonna slide this to the back and start pulling it a little bit tighter, and I left a little space there. And I'm gonna get a pipe cleaner. I'm gonna get a pipe cleaner. I'm gonna slide it through halfway. Now I can secure this really tight. I'm pulling it really tight so that cannot fall apart on my customer. So now I have 2 little handles. This is how they're going to attach it to the wreath or a lantern or wherever they're a gift basket. And now I'm going to fluff out my bows, my tails, give it a nice pull, a nice curve down. Good morning, Debbie. Nice and sunny. Oh, it is freezing here. I'm in New York, and it is 64 in my house right now. It is, I think, 47 outside. It went from 70s to 47 in like a blink of the eye. Wreaths, cards, and home holiday staging are my, yes, beautiful. So I fluffed out all of my loops. I have my hands in there and just rounding it out. And then we have the final thing is to make, just to finish off our edges. And I just cut them at an angle. Just gives it a finished look. And the same to the other side. So pretty. So you can see how pretty that's going to look on there. I usually put it at like the 10 o'clock position, but she could put it at 12 o'clock. She could put it at 6 o'clock, wherever her eye, it looks good to her eye. So that's one bow down. I'm going to put that aside. Now, I have a new bow that I want to get in my Etsy shop. Part was from the ribbon that is going to go on her second bow she ordered. And then as I was collecting the ribbons, I was seeing other ribbons, and I said, oh my goodness, these would look so pretty together. So I'm going to work with these. These are all from, Sam's Club, either last year or some of it was this year. So I'm going to use these 2.5-inch ribbons and then 1.5-inch ribbons. And this is going to be a really pretty all winter bow. It's going to have some Christmas colors, but also that can be left up all winter long. Oh, if the customer says no, so honestly, I really haven't had that experience. Once they see the bow completed, they usually love whatever the change up is. But if they didn't love it, one, I would just take that bow and then now add that into my Etsy shop as an option for other customers. I could just cancel her order if I can't get any more. If I can order more of that particular ribbon and it's just going to take maybe a week, I would let her know that. So I would give her some options. I usually have no problems with my customers being happy with the final design because I really try to keep it as close as possible to what I had originally offered. And actually in most of my descriptions, I sell a lot of multiples. So, you know, eventually ribbons from year to year, ribbons will go out of stock or they'll be discontinued. So in my description, if I know that could be a possibility, I'm getting low on a ribbon, I feel like a ribbon might be discontinued, I will write that in my description that due to availability, a ribbon may be swapped for something similar. Okay, so this again, this is going to be about a 10-inch tail. And you can see why I do my flip here, because this is an unpatterned side. So when I come back around, now the pretty side is going to be facing up. And this is also going to be about a little short of 6 inches. Now this is going to be one of my typical bows that I have in my shop as far as the size. One of the best tips I've heard in all of my time crafting is, and I've been selling for about I think it was just 7 years this month, is to, if you get a custom request, whether it be certain colors, designs, themes, if you're getting a custom request, that means there's other people out there that probably want the same thing. So many of my designs come from my custom orders, and then I develop them into multiples for my Etsy shop. You don't want to be making the same thing that everybody else makes. It's not good for business. If they can buy it in a box store, then I'm probably not making that. Okay, so three loops on each side. And now I'm going to come in with this beautiful ribbon. And you can see how all of the colors will play off each other. This has like a brighter red, and in here it's much closer to this maroon, which is why I pulled these ribbons together. So this is going to be a little bit shorter than the last set of loops. You stagger them down so that you could see all of the ribbons that you're using. And I want 2 loops of this. This is going to be a 3, 2, 1, maybe 2. I don't know. There's no right or wrong answer in bow making. So oftentimes I'll have something in my head and then it'll change as I'm making it. And these bows are beautiful on trees, gift baskets, lanterns, tall candlesticks. There's so many ways that you can use these. If you put 2 or 3 of them together, you can make a beautiful tree topper. So I have 3, 2 loops on each side. Now I'm going to come in with the green, and I'm going to pick up this beautiful green here. Measuring up my tails. Now I want 1 of each. 1 loop on each side. I love this really deep green. could tell I'm mixing up patterns and colors, but they're all tying together. And then the final one is this beautiful red and gold snowflake. Another 1.5 inch ribbon. So let's see. I think I'm just going to do one loop on this one. Just going to do a middle center loop. So I'm keeping both of my tails on the one side. I've got the one loop. That's going to be my center loop. Now I'm going to fluff out my bow, one up, one down, one up, one down. The center one will stay in the middle. And now I'm starting to hold this because as I'm fluffing it, it's starting to raise and I don't want it to fall out of the fingers, as they call it. I have one of those welcome signs that everyone has on like a porch leaner, they call them. But it's got a pretty floral design, more spring-like up on top. And what I did is I drilled a hole. No, there was a hole there. There was a hole there because they had jute cord. So I guess you can hang it. It's one of those tall ones, maybe like 6 feet tall. So I took the cord out and I hang a bow from there. So it's covering like the springtime looking floral pattern there. And then I switch out my bows. So I'll have a fall bow there, then I'll put a winter bow there. And then when it's spring, I could take it off, or I can add another bow if I want. That way I can use the same sign all year long. Okay, so again, I fluffed out my layers. I'm coming on underneath all. And I'm coming up the middle with my 8-inch zip tie. And I'm going to secure it, but I'm not going to pull it all the way tight. And now I can pull it out. It's not going to fall apart. I'm going to slide it to the back. And before I secure it all the way, I'm going to slip in my pipe cleaner halfway. Then I can pull it as tight as possible. Cut that off, use these as the handle. And now I'm going to fluff out my bow. I like to start with the tails. I start right up in the center of the bow, and I smooth them out on each side. Now this one, because it's both on this side, I'm going to give it a little twist and pull it over. Twist and pull it over. And now there's going to be one on each side. Go through each loop, put your hands in it, round it out. Move everything into the spot that you want them to be. It's all about fluffing the bow in the end to give it that really finished look. There we have it. Isn't that pretty? So again, if you have a plain greenery wreath or a burlap wreath, you can just attach a bow just like that. or you could attach it to a mailbox, a lantern, large gift baskets. This is beautiful to present on a large gift basket. Okay, so this one I'm going to be taking pictures of, and I will have it listed in my Etsy shop for purchase later on this afternoon once I get it all edited. So you can take a look for that. And now the final one is her second bow. And let me just pull over these. See, this one I didn't have one of those straight pins in, and it becomes a mess, so. Okay, now I just want to pull up the picture. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to my Etsy shop to pull up the picture to make sure I make it exactly the same way. Where is it? I had it saved on my phone, but obviously I can't pull it up because I'm videotaping on my phone. Oh, here it is. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so 3, 2. All right, so this one is even different. See, I'm glad I looked it up because it's a formula that I don't normally use. So I'm glad I looked it up. Okay, so again, 10-inch tail. This beautiful maroon and gold. Maroon's hard color to find in ribbons, so I like to snatch them up when I can. Very classic looking, traditional Christmas. So this is going to be 3 loops on each side. If you have any questions, let me know. You can leave it in the comments if I don't see it now. I go back after and I answer anything that I can. I have a craft show coming up in about 3 weeks now that I really need to start getting working on. It's a very tiny space though, so I don't bring as much as I normally do. It's really just a 1 6-foot table, which is very, very small. If you're a wreath maker, you know, there's not much you can display on a 6-foot table as far as wreaths. There's going to be 2 loops of this. So that's when I bring more signs. Okay, I'm just checking. So for this one, it's a directional ribbon. So you want Noel to be positioned as best we can. So what I'm going to do, and I don't want the Noel upside down on the tails, so I'm going to just put them in one by one. That way on the tails, Noel is as it should be. And you can see it's got the berries and the gold that's picking up the first ribbon. I need 2 loops of these. And then I could trim this off. Now I have the green. Gonna have 1 loop of that. And you can see how it's just picking up the wreath on the Noel ribbon. And then I'm going to come back in with this red one. And I think there was 1 loop on each side for this. So right now we have 3, 2, 1, 1. Like I was saying before, normally I don't do 1, 1. But for whatever reason, when I originally made the bow, that's what I was feeling. And it turned out beautiful, so no right or wrong ways to make bows. And now we just need our center loop. So just like before, we make 1 loop and we keep both of them on the one side, and we will fix that later. Okay, so now we have to fluff our bow. I'm going to start on the bottom, go 1 up, 1 down. What I do to one side, I do to the other. 1 up, 1 down. Now it's getting close to the top, so I'm going to push it back down. And just go in and round out my loops a little bit. These colors are just so pretty together, very traditional. That's how I decorate for Christmas, is traditional. Are you into the all pinks and purples and bright colors for Christmas, if you decorate for Christmas? They are fun and festive. I do like them. I don't change up for every year. I know some people change their whole decor and ornaments. I don't. I've had the same ones for 20 something years. I do love like the gingerbread theme. That's very popular this year again. Very cute. I like the colors. All right, and now we're gonna add our pipe cleaner to the back. Sliding my zip tie to the back. Adding it in halfway. And now I can secure it really tight. My bow's not gonna go anywhere with that zip tie that tight. I've tried it with pipe cleaners before and wire. I just feel like it's much more secure for me if I use the zip tie. So just giving it the final fluff. Smoothing out all of my ribbons. This I give a little turn and move it over. Bring that center over. And now she has another beautiful bow. And then I'm sure she'll come back for, she can do a winter bow, she can do a Valentine's Day bow, Easter bow, spring bow, all by just using one wreath base. So we're just gonna trim our ends. Just do it at an angle. Some people fold it over. They fold it over and they cut it at an angle. That's called dovetailing. Sometimes I do that. It's just what I'm feeling when I'm making the bow. Both pretty. All right, so there we have it. We made 3 beautiful bows. I hope you found this helpful. If you want to learn how to make wreaths, you can go back and watch my other videos. I have a lot of step-by-step. I have videos showing you how to put pipe cleaners on the actual frame. I have videos showing you from start to finish, some just putting deco mesh on the wreaths. So go back in my playlist and take a look what's there. If you have any questions on that, of course, leave a comment and I'll get back to you. If you're interested in purchasing in any wreaths, bows, personalized gifts. Before we go, why don't we just finish this up? How about that? Remember, I painted this in the beginning. Let me just get that paper back. I painted this in the beginning. I was gonna do a second coat, but I actually kind of like the wood coming through. Let me give it a quick sand and see if I like it. So I just take my sanding block and I just kind of scuff up the edges a little bit. This you can also find in my Etsy shop, which is Crafty Therapy by l.etsy.com. You can also find it down in the description. And I have to paint that one edge, but that's fine. I can do that off camera. Okay. I think that'll look good. So I have the white or I have the black. I think I like the white. I'm missing a few hearts on that one. When you peel off the paper, sometimes the hearts come. So I always just print out a few extras. So let's get rid of that. I take a dry brush just to get any dust off. looking for my, let's see. This is going to be short. And I reuse these transfer sheets over and over and over again. No, that's not going to work. Is it going to work this way? No. Let me just take another piece. I don't know where all my pieces went. I always save them. But let me just cut a new piece. This roll I got off Amazon. It's one of my favorites. I've had this for probably about a year and I still have plenty left on it because I can reuse it over and over. But I've tried many of them out there and this one really seems to work the best. I will leave a link for this down below. You have a Cricut. Want to make sure that it's adhered well. And slowly peel back. Now what I'm doing is I'm just lining it. My ruler is upside down. When I put my mat back, I put it up upside down, but I can do the math. So I'm just lining it up to make sure that it's along the line and straight. Oops. And now I'm pretty much going to eyeball it. Yep. That looks about right to me. And these are available in many different sizes, and many different colors in my Etsy shop, and you enter whatever you want it to be, whether it's grandma, grandpa, grandma and grandpa's house. And you just go slowly, make sure everything's sticking down. And they're available in black, white, red, green. I'm going to be adding this as seafoam green. And now I'm going to bring in those extra hearts. Okay, so now I need one of these. So because these are so tiny, sometimes they rip as you're taking it off of the carrier sheet. So these fine little details, I like to just print out a few extras. That way you can go back in at any time and add them. And just put them on manually. Okay, looks like we're missing a few down there. Why, but I'll call them right back. And last one. Okay, well done. There we go. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you're interested in anything in my, hopefully you enjoyed this. Take care. Bye-bye.